Welcome back to Inside Games, the only gaming news show brave enough to ask, is Call of Duty Vanguard gonna bomb?
Ooh, Bruce, that's brave. I would say that makes us every bit as brave as those troopers parachuting into Normandy in 1944.
We'd ask for a moment of silence commemorating us, but that'd make our viewer retention bomb, so let's just skip right over it, just go to the news story.
Even though there's no parade for us, the question remains, Activision Blizzard finally announced the long-rumored and often leaked Call of Duty Vanguard today via a custom event Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah, they did the same last year, down to the exact day. What a weird thing to do.
Flashing back exactly 1 year, on August 19th, 2020, a series of ciphers inside Warzone led to a teaser for the then unreleased game, with a full reveal trailer following on August 26th.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard chose to skip that step this time around, with the full reveal trailer going up today, the same day of the event.
Which is, you know, it's nice. It's nice to not wait. In addition to massive scenes and chaos and groundbreaking diversity from the many fronts of World War II, we also got a release date, November 5th.
All right, so far so good. Only some viewership indicators imply that audiences just may not be as interested in Call of Duty Vanguard as they were in last year's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Also, the trailer itself implies a lot about the tone and direction of this year's Call of Duty. You know, it's not, those aren't bad, at least. Viewer indicators bad. Tone is just like, oh, that's kind of new, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, all in due time, but first, let's just cover the basics. Let's be journalists, all right?
That bravery doesn't come out of nowhere, all right? And that means covering the facts, the news, so let's get into it.
Call of Duty Warzone, the free-to-play battle royale spin-off of the military shooter franchise. We are positive that you know what it is. Ran a first-of-its-kind PvE event in the game today, throwing players into squads and asking them to shoot at a hulking World War II-era doomsday tank instead of each other.
That's kind of cool. It was the only playable event in the entire game for a short while. Which, you know, that's either really cool or maybe a little weird when you consider that it is all to advertise another game in the mainline series. But come on, it is more than just an ad. We're not that cynical just yet.
No, it's really cool. Beanox actually created the event, which it's super cool. Nice to see their names again. They used to make Spider-Man games, then they made Skylanders, and now they're back in COD form.
In the event, 8 teams of 4 have to blow up and I'm gonna quote the website for this because it's a really good phrase, a quote, death machine forged from the past. So it's this giant turret-filled metal monstrosity that bashes down a train tracks, and you gotta either blow it up, cave it in a cave, or shoot it until it dies.
You get an emblem for playing, a blueprint for winning, and a special charm if you can get to the exfil point before a fleet of bombers levels the entire map.
But just like last year, the real reward for winning is the reveal trailer for Call of Duty Vanguard.
Ah, yes, the only gift for champions. What commercials do you think Olympians watch when they win a gold medal?
What happens 10 days after you win a gold medal? You just go home and play Xbox again?
That's it. That's all you do. You go home.
The trailer itself, have to admit, is going over pretty well on YouTube at the moment, which is notable, considering YouTube viewers can be a little discerning when it comes to new Call of Duty trailers. As of writing, about 4 hours from the video's publication, trailer already has 2 million views and a like to dislike ratio of 92.6%.
I mean, the trailer's super cool. It really feels like Battlefield a little bit, and Call of Duty likes to throw a bunch of bombastic stuff in their trailers, so kind of makes sense. I've seen this before.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. It's not that Call of Duty trailers are not known for bombast, like you said, but there's these just massive scenes of huge scale and almost like borderline absurdity, just like a little like, wow, that's crazy moments kind of thing.
It is interesting because I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare in 2019 didn't have that. It felt very personal, and it felt very like pointed and focused, and I think that's actually what made it stand apart back in 2019. So in this trailer, the one that was just released, you have a soldier man pulling a sidearm to shoot at a plane from the gunner's seat after his gun jams. There's also a parachuting trooper that has their chute cut from a flying plane as they fall through an entire night sky filled with exploding flak and colliding planes.
So it's awesome, but like we said, it's really up there. It's huge, huge scale for Call of Duty. Granted, it's not as ridiculous as we've seen some other franchises go, like driving a 4x4 into a helicopter, or even ejecting out of a jet to shoot down somebody pursuing you with an RPG in mid-fall. Maybe. Not quite that silly, though.
Nothing is like Battlefield.
I guess to me, the big cult, like kind of like Bruce, like you were saying, the big sort of thematic difference is that, to me, a lot of the Call of Duties that I've really liked are kind of claustrophobic and small. Not necessarily in like the intensity of the action, just in the scale of it. So you know, closed in hallways, huddling behind a rock while bullets are flying over. It's about you and your personal terror of not wanting to die, or of just like the things that you see in front of you. Whereas this one, you're out in open sky, seeing just these incredible visions of a world war, you know. So that's kind of different. I feel like it's got a new smell about it, a new aroma.
It's unlikely Call of Duty's trying to pull like a full Battlefield here. The last time COD tried to get that wacky, people really just didn't like it at all. It was bad.
Yeah, I thought Infinite Warfare was them trying to tiptoe in that direction, and people weren't having it. But my read is that this trailer does feel constructed to telegraph that the tone of this particular Call of Duty will focus on cranking up the spectacle of it all, you know, at least in the campaign.
I love Call of Duty campaigns, and I cannot wait to play this campaign. Every year, even the really stupid ones like Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, those were so much fun. And they're really fun in a stupid way. So like it's you know, like I will definitely sit down and play the 6 hours it requires to beat this campaign.
Hell yeah! I mean, Sledge did Advanced Warfare, then they did World War II. No celebrity cast in this one yet, at least not yet. Maybe some of the soldier people will end up being celebrities, but no Josh Duhamel this year, unfortunately.
Even though the trailer is a breath of fresh air, we have some indications that people aren't lining up to just suck it all up.
Given that the event just happened today, we don't have all the data in the world to compare, really, but this is Inside Games, damn it. Hold on, let me pound my desk for emphasis. There we go. We went into heavy debt to get the degrees in clown math that are sitting up on the wall, and we're gonna use them, damn it. Yeah, it's like, I think it's like right over there. That's about where I got it. Gotta zoom in, but gotta zoom in a little bit.
The doctor is in, and the prescription is a drop in Twitch viewership.
So yeah, our man on the street, me, was keeping an eye on Twitch viewership across the event, and this year's Warzone / Call of Duty announcement event didn't quite measure up to last year's.
The event kicked off today when we were actually recording, August 19th at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. 10 minutes from launch, Call of Duty Warzone was the most watched category on Twitch with 710,000 viewers. Warzone also held the top spot on YouTube at the time with 113,000 viewers.
Now, we don't need clown math to tell you that combined, that's 823,000 viewers. We just need Windows Calculator to tell you that. There's a keyboard shortcut specifically for Windows Calculator, and I keep forgetting what it is.
Do you know the Windows Calculator shortcut? Put it in the comments, because we want to know what it is, and we'll give it a shot. And don't put Alt F4. That ended up being the highest observed viewer count, with Twitch dropping to almost 600,000 by 11 a.m. and then down to 229,000 by noon. YouTube experienced a similar slide with 65,000 viewers at 11 a.m. and 17,000 by noon.
So that figure doesn't quite match the numbers from last year's Black Ops Cold War event, which hit nearly 1 million viewers in August last year.
Before you say that 1 million to 820,000 isn't that much, 820,000 is our number that combines Twitch and YouTube. While as last year, the nearly 1 million was nearly 1 million only Twitch viewers.
Our observed peak this year was 710,000, which is a pretty significant drop from 1 million, or air quotes, almost 1 million.
But still, 823,000 viewers isn't bad, and clearly demonstrates there's a lot of interest in Warzone and the franchise in general. There has been for a very long time.
And there's more positive ways to spin this. According to Twitch Tracker, the game had an average of 98,000 viewers yesterday. So, woo, you could say that the event increased Warzone viewership by 7 times in one day. That's impressive. We did it. Everyone gets a bonus.
Or, conversely for this data, you could say the Call of Duty reveal event had a 30% drop in viewership from 2020.
That's 2 data points from the same thing, so one's ready for the press release and the other one's ready for YouTube headlines. Data's fun, isn't it? You can just do whatever you want with it.
I actually think data is fun, Lawrence. I actually really love it. I love to like go and check it out and see what's going on.
It represents our world, and you know what? You know what's even more fun than just looking at data is trying to interpret it.
So why would there be a drop in viewership? Well, we've got a bunch of theories, and I'm sure you do too. Lawrence, take it away.
And this is going to be all anecdotal because we have so little data to work with. So it could just be a general decline in video game investment from the players, from everyone in general. The global pandemic has funneled a lot of money, attention, and time into the games industry all throughout last year. It's been our casual observation, Bruce and ours, that some of that attention, some of that surge, it's starting to ebb back a little bit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have noticed that. People really do seem to be going outside a bit more, which is good, by the way, which means a chunk of people that were work from home or just home in general in 2020 may be going back to the office or school or wherever else they're going now.
If you're one of those, I want to extend my sympathies, but also I know some people really want to get out of the house, so yeah. I was never one to commute, so if you lost your work from home, I apologize thoroughly. Unless you're one of those weirdos that likes putting on button-ups and going to the office. On top of that, Warzone itself is showing a bit of a downturn in Twitch viewership over the last few months, but again, that's if you trust data from Twitch Tracker. It can be a little, what's the word, charismatic?
What I like to do with Twitch Tracker and Social Blade is actually compare the real data from my channel on Twitch or YouTube to those websites to see how off they generally are. Because there's always a little bit of a deviation that Twitch Tracker has versus your actual data. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Another somewhat obvious take is that this is the second event like this. Last year's crossover was really the first of its kind. I mean, there's been Fortnite promotional events and stuff like that. I just mean, within the realm of Call of Duty, pretty cool. And that drew a lot of curiosity. People wanted to see it happen in action, live. But we gamers, we get jaded pretty fast. So there's no way that the same thing a year later is going to pop off quite like the original did.
The ultimate question in all of this is, does this mean Call of Duty Vanguard will sell worse than Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War?
A question that we, with very little data, will attempt to answer now.
Activision Blizzard followed the rest of the video game industry and wholesale stopped announcing sales numbers for games, opting instead for revenue figures and monthly active user metrics.
And for what's meaningful for their business, frankly, it makes sense, especially given that they're saying these numbers to investors. You don't want to freak investors out, and games typically are very like lots of money up front, huge returns of money at the end. And that makes investors lose their minds because they just want steady flows of money all the time. So this is like, those metrics are much more steady, often they're much more positive. So yeah, I get it, but from our perspective, it's not as fun. We don't get to put them together and shake the jar and make them fight like we used to.
Yeah, so amusingly, even if we wanted to project sales for Call of Duty Vanguard, we don't really have anything to project them against because Activision Blizzard just never said what it sold.
Yeah, the best we got is an estimate from analyst firm Superdata, who predicted that Black Ops Cold War sold 5.7 million digital units in December of 2020.
Oh, that's cool. Great. Thank you very much. But that does not include physical. And guess what? Activision doesn't say what its ratio of physical to digital sales are, so we don't know.
And even that wouldn't be 100% applicable because they would say it across their entire company, not just for the one franchise. So yeah, okay, so closest data point we have there, and we're already so many layers of assumptions in this, it doesn't matter anymore, but whatever. Might as well finish strong. Something EA actually said in July of 2020, where they announced that 52% of their console games are sold digitally.
It's a completely different company, only applies to consoles. But in the spirit of clown math, which we've gotten better at every week, by the way, we'll just ignore all that and ballpark Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War sales at 11.4 million. We're about doubling the 5.7 million digital copies that we actually have as a data point.
Exactly right. So in context, that's itself a pretty fair chunk away from the series peak, which, according to Activision, is 2019's Call of Duty Modern Warfare reboot.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard themselves said it was the best-selling Call of Duty ever in May of 2020, though, get ready for it, they didn't say what the total sales actually were.
The only number we ever got was from an entirely different executive. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang dropped a 30 million figure in a presentation in September 2020. And though this is super weird, Bruce, we were talking about this before, for some reason, multiple Call of Duty games are all sitting at, air quotes, about 30 million. But for some reason, the Modern Warfare reboot is the one that has sold the most of the 30 million games.
So I Googled it just very briefly. I was like, Call of Duty sales numbers, and I went to vgsales.fandom.com. And for some reason, Call of Duty Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare from 2019 all have the 30 million sales figure. It's such a weird thing.
Because it's all Activision ever said. They just stopped saying numbers after that. We can assume that they all landed in the low to mid 30s and you know, the Modern Warfare reboot just barely clipped that. So the best headline was, guess what, babe? It's 2019 and we got franchise breaking sales. But in retrospect, you know, if you're an investor and they crested it by 20,000 units, it's like, big deal. Okay, great. You just got back to where you were 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm not going to throw you a lot of money. So again, I think it's that gameplay of like, You want your company to sound as explosively successful as it can. You want to remove all the data points that maybe suggest it's anything other than that.
Well, speaking of talking positively about data, if we're talking numbers, of course, Warzone obviously still the biggest COD on the COD block.
Yeah, well, it's free to play. The game hit 100 million players in April of 2020. Again, that data comes directly from a official Twitter account. Monthly active user counts, kind of the more important metric, haven't been announced or otherwise deduced, unfortunately.
Regardless, our clown math indicates it might be a soft year for Call of Duty sales. Though that would be the case regardless of the game made if it were truly in a post-pandemic contraction of the gaming industry.
Yeah, you could have the best Call of Duty this year and the world is just not ready for it. So this is no commentary on the quality of the game or the work of the people at Sledgehammer or Raven or Beanox or... Yeah, we're just here to look at the numbers and maybe throw popcorn when it's funny.
Back to the clown math. If Call of Duty Modern Warfare sold 30 million in 2019, and then Black Ops Cold War sold 11 million. You know what? I'll round up. Let's say 15 million. If it dropped by 50% from 2019 to 2020, that's bad. That's a really, really big drop for Call of Duty. So we'll see what Vanguard does.
And that's why you have something like Warzone there. So when you're talking to your investors, you say, the Call of Duty franchise did so well this year. And then all the little like wiggles in the middle, whatever, that's all under the big line item at the top. And I mean, granted, Call of Duty has needed a free-to-play angle for a while in addition to Call of Duty Mobile. So the Call of Duty franchise really has buttoned up over the last 5 years, which is one of the main reasons investors aren't that upset with Activision Blizzard leadership, which is something maybe difficult to wrap your head around if you've been following some of the other headlines about the company, which is worth mentioning at the end here. So they are getting sued by the state of California. But let's, if your conscience is racked, you can explain it to yourself this way. Those issues are largely at Blizzard Entertainment, whereas this is other developers at Activision Blizzard. You can hold the entire company accountable for the actions of all of its subsidiaries. That's on you. Just saying, that particular story is connected through the spiderweb of corporate entities, but we're not talking about the exact same people making Call of Duty Vanguard as the people who were named in that suit. I want to be clear about that one.
That's also to say, we don't know the answer on whether or not you should be boycotting Call of Duty or Diablo or whatever else that comes out of Activision Blizzard. This is something that I've been struggling with as a streamer and a content creator. I'm like, should I be playing these games? What I have sort of settled on for a lot of these things is like, I'm going to call this my Michael Jackson solution. So anytime Michael Jackson comes up, I always say, remember, Michael Jackson was probably a pedophile. So maybe don't buy his records or something. I always put the disclaimer of that out there because I'm not going to support Michael Jackson in that way. I'm not going to send any money his way, or at least his estate. I don't know. It really depends. There's a lot of really good people at Activision Blizzard making video games that we do want to support. So it's a very hard decision. Yeah,
it's complicated for sure. If there's any takeaway at the end of it all, it's that just boycotts never work. So if you want to do something meaningful, and you're a content creator or a content consumer or whatever, if you just want to go to sleep and have no demons scream in your ear, then maybe contribute some money or some time to causes that are dedicated to helping women reach equality in the workplace. That way the little demon can get off your back for enjoying Diablo 2 Remake or whatever you want to do in the future.
Good advice from Lawrence Sonntag.
Hell of a guy.